Hey, I'm back and I am doing round 2 of the color depositing mask by Moroccanoil. I did the first one, which was a burgundy color, and this time I'm gonna try out their rose gold. There's 2 different sizes. There's like the try once, see if it sucks size, or the large size, you know it's awesome and you use it all the time. So this one I got in a little, I'm not sure if it's gonna look good on my head size, and that's because I'm a little bit nervous. I'm nervous because my hair isn't like a typical super light blonde, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna get a strange color with putting a rose gold on top of this. So just to kind of give you guys a better idea, I'm sort of in this random hair color. My roots are closer to a traditional blonde, so you guys can see. The ends are more of like an orangey, beigey blonde. So that's what's making me a little bit nervous about this one here, because I just don't know if the color it is right now is going to make it kind of strange. So who knows? Stick around, find out what's gonna happen. I, of course, am going to walk you guys through how I do this, the do's and the don'ts, and some of the stuff that I use. So let's first start with the package. It does tell you to do a patch test. So if you've got sensitive skin or you're just not sure how you're gonna react to these chemicals, it really is a good idea to do a patch test. So that instruction is on the label. And then the other thing you wanna know is you need to have clean, towel dried hair. So I am gonna go and do that in a minute after we sort of go through what we're gonna do. Then you want to section your hair off, and you put this stuff on for 5 to 7 minutes. It does take a few minutes to get onto your head. So the first stuff is probably going to be at the 5 to 7 minute mark, and the last part that you do, either the top or the bottom, depending how you do it, is going to be fresh, and it's only going to be on there for a couple of minutes. So whichever part of your hair you want the darkest, I would recommend starting with that place first. So typically most people would section their hair off and start at the bottom and go up. I'm gonna try something new today. I'm gonna start from the top and go down. The other thing is, it's not gonna hurt your hair if it goes on a little bit longer. I have tried it before with the other color. It actually just goes a deeper color and it stays and lasts a little bit longer. Again, this is a washout product. It's not permanent. However, if you are like a blonde, maybe not necessarily my color, but you're like a super blonde, I want to be a super blonde. If you are a super blonde, you want to be pretty cautious how long you leave this on, because your hair could potentially suck that color up and tint your blonde, and you might have a pink hue until you go in again and have your hair done. So just be really cautious on how long you leave this in if you're a super blonde. And I'm talking like platinum, as white can be. If you're the darker tones, you probably aren't gonna have quite as much of a problem. The towel dried hair piece, I didn't do that the very first time and I didn't get a really good result. So really do wanna wash your hair and towel dry it. It was too wet. My hair was too wet, and it was like my hair didn't wanna suck up the color. So you do want it on the drier side of towel dried. Now, some of the things that I am going to use before we get started. I am going to use one of these guys. They're very inexpensive. You can pick up the stuff that I show you guys at Sally's, and it's relatively cheap. The reason why I really like this is I feel like you just get more of an even painting onto your hair, and you get a more even color. More even color. That doesn't sound like good grammar at all. The other thing that I really do like, and I don't know if I necessarily need it with this particular container because this is just like a one-time use, Yeah, I think I'm gonna still do this. I like to put my color in here, and that's just so that I don't have to fool around with the bottle isn't leaking, all that kind of nonsense that can happen. You just get it in here, and then you use this and put it on your hair. End of story. The other thing is, if you have a manicure and you want to save, maybe you've got a lighter color, you would probably want to use gloves, especially for your skin too, because this stuff sort of stains onto your skin and it takes a few days to get out, and depending on the color you've chosen to use, you could look a little bit strange. So pink, maybe not going to be a big deal.
Blues, greens, those types of colors, you're gonna look a little weird.
Of course, you don't need any of these things. You can do it just with your hands, with a comb, good to go. The other thing that I do want to mention is anytime you're putting anything in your hair, so let's say if you're using a moisture mask, or you're doing a protein treatment, or you're doing a color depositing mask, you want to comb through what you've put in. The reason why that's helpful is because then all the strands get your color on there, or your protein, or your moisture. You're not leaving anybody out, because if you leave someone out, A, they're going to be really sad, and B, they're not going to look as good as the other strands next to them, and that's just mean. So definitely want to do a bit of combing once you've gotten in whatever you're putting into your hair. This is going to make for more of a salon result. The other very, very last thing that I'm going to mention before I run away, wash my hair, and come back and
We're gonna do this.
is if you have gray hair, you want to be very careful, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to get it nice and close here. I have some lovely gray hair coming in here. Hence why I'm actually going blonde, is just so that I don't have to go into the salon every 6 weeks. But that is going to go like a, if this is even a thing, a neon rose gold, okay? So I want to stay away from anything that's super light like gray hair. I'm gonna have a hot root, and then I'm gonna have like a toned down rest of my hair. So when I'm doing this, I'm gonna be very cautious not to get in where my gray is, because it's gonna look really strange. I'm gonna go and wash my hair, towel dry it, and then I'll come back, we'll get going and see how this turns out. Okay, so I am all washed and towel dried. One more thing that you might want to know if you haven't watched my last color depositing video, you want to cover any surface that you are possibly in love with. So if you like your countertops and you like your floors and you like your things, make sure that you cover them all up. It totally stains. So I did get a speck on my counter, my white marble counter, and yep, that never came out. So I would suggest that you just get a tarp. They're very inexpensive at the dollar store, and just tarp it out. I am going to start sectioning off my hair. Rip my gloves, so I have to use these ones, the disposables. I don't like them as much. So clearly these don't last for 10 years. The last time I used them, they were fine. So weird, I ripped a hole right in them and one of the fingers off. So let's get started. Washed it out. Not gonna lie, that was really stressful. So I got the color into the little container and I was like, uh-oh, I don't think there's enough here. So we know that the last part of my hair I did is not gonna be as pink. I didn't have as much to put on it. I had a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna look that good. I was being really cheap with it all the way through because when I opened it up, I was like, I don't think there's enough here. So I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking one would be enough. I wasn't thinking it through, I guess. So anyway, should have had a backup. Oh, I can see the pink. It was cool. It was in the container. It was more of like a really dark maroony pink. And then when I started combing it through my hair strands, it was going a lovely light pastel pink. This is it. I'm gonna blow dry it and we'll see how even I got it through.
Perfect.
Not too bad. I feel like it's a bit of a weird color. User error 110%. I clearly did not use enough and most of this went okay. So I have absolutely no idea what you're doing, Moroccanoil, by selling one of those tiny little containers or little packages, because what is it for people with a pixie cut? Like that's it? Like that's the only person could use it. I needed like 3 or 4 of those packets to do this correctly. So don't do what I did and actually buy enough product. It's really nice and soft, so that's nice. The product itself is quite nourishing, I kind of feel like, and I feel like if I used enough of the product, I probably would have a really nice rose gold. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed the color depositing mask by Moroccanoil. If you have tried something that you like better, please comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing below. I hope you guys have a really wonderful week and I'll see you next weekend. Bye guys.